ReconAthlete.com podcast is brought to you by Kreitz Market. All right, Recon Athlete, episode number 47. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero. Well, it's going to be kind of a somber episode, guys. You know, of course, everybody knows. I guess everybody, especially if you're.
I mean, it's been on CNN.
CNN. If you're a Recon, especially if you're a Recon Athlete fan, then you know what's happening in the world of sports with the death of Kobe Bryant. Tragically, on Sunday, in a helicopter crash, along with his daughter Gianna, and then seven other souls. And initial reaction, when you found out. Paul, I think, how did you find out, Paul?
I found out through a notification through one of my sports apps that I follow, and I really didn't give any credence to it because I just saw something Kobe Bryant, and I didn't continue to read. And to my chagrin, I got another one from another sports app that I follow, and I was just, we live in a world where everything is at our fingertips. Information travels at the speed of light, and not really at the speed of light, but fast, and so fast that, stories get out and people say they passed, and it turns out to not to be true. And that's kind of how I was feeling. I was like, no, this can't be true. Like, Kobe Bryant couldn't pass away in a helicopter crash. And I was in such a state of disbelief and cynicism that I just told myself, no, this isn't real. I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep waiting. Like, I'm not going to give any value to these stories because we've often come to find out that media wants to be first, not right a lot of times. And, after sitting down and letting it process and going through some stages of my emotions, I came to the understanding that this information was real. And as more and more information continued to break, I just said, this isn't supposed to happen this way.
Right.
This type of high profile individual had so many more things to do. Like, he just retired a few years ago, I think 3 years ago, and was embarking on this huge media career, launching different kind of ventures, winning Grammy Awards for short films, and to have such a tragic loss at a young age, a relatively young age, for most human lifespans, it's just a complete tragedy that I was in disbelief. Like, and when I say the word disbelief, I really wanted.
You really were.
I really was like, no, I don't believe you.
Even in the messenger when we were kind of going back and forth.
Right.
Paul, there was, I want to say, at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 times where you said, I don't believe it.
Yeah, I was like, I really just don't believe this. Like, how does a person who is so in such controlled environments allow themselves to be in an environment that they would not be in total control?
Yeah.
And I finally came around, and we met up. We had an event that we met up later at Chris, and we were just like, yeah, I think we didn't have any words for that moment yet between each other. And we're just like, yeah, it happened. And I think we were really still processing how it was kind of affecting our life and what would the impact be going forward. Like, how many great things would we get to experience on the back end of Kobe's 40 or 50 years? And we'll never know, but, prayers up to the Bryant family and to his daughter and the 7 other souls that lost their lives on that tragic Sunday. And, I really didn't get emotional then, and I handled death very differently. Like, I'm very isolated with death. I don't like to confront it, but when I do, like, I go full bore. I go to the max because it's one of those things I don't like and I'm uncomfortable with, but I want to get through it as fast as possible, and then I want to be left alone. And I think that's why, when I experience something this tragic, and I feel like I kind of knew Kobe, not formally, but I mean, we were 3 years apart in age. So when I was in high school, he was, going to the NBA. When he was making millions, I was, starting into college. And so you kind of got to see the life events go hand in hand with my own life events and see, a far different road that he led, but you kind of just understood the life events he was experiencing, I was experiencing, just in at a different level. So it was hard to accept. And once I did accept it, it was just, a mourning process. And I took about a day to say, okay, this happened. We lose many lives daily.
Right.
And all over the world. And they're all tragic. Mm-hmm. But the individual, this high profile, was just gone in a way that I think we really haven't seen since, for me, like Selena Quintanilla.
Right.
I think that was the biggest impact that I've experienced in my lifetime.
Right. And when Zach and it was Sunday, kind of a day of rest for a lot of people. And what were you doing? What was your reaction initially?
No, I have a group message with a bunch of my friends from high school, mm-hmm. and there's actually a dude in that group message that died. Mm-hmm. Like on social media, everyone, like, there was a point in high school, everyone was saying like R.I.P. Dante, like, dang, I can't believe Dante passed away, blah blah blah, mm-hmm. and it was just like a joke. Right. Like the kind of the power of social media, like you were saying, Paul, where people could just run with the narrative and everyone would believe it because of social media. So someone put in that group like, dang, so Kobe died, LOL, mm-hmm. thinking it was like a joke. And then that whole Sunday, I was getting ready to go to Dallas on Monday. That whole Sunday, I stayed in front of the TV changing the channels whenever they would have like a college basketball game on and they'd say like, the Kobe stuff will continue on ESPN2. I'll change to ESPN2. Like, mm-hmm. whenever something will come on that channel, I'd be like, we're changing the Kobe tribute to ESPN. I put it back to ESPN. I spent the whole day just refreshing my timeline just because I don't know if it got past the point where you're like waiting for someone to say that it was fake, but right. You just like, I just wanted to know everything that happened, like, I don't know. And it's one of those things where you like, you never really realize like the impact that someone has on your life or people's lives until like you don't have them anymore. Like mm-hmm. the whole, like, you don't know what you have until it's gone thing. Right. And I felt that like with family members and friends I had pass away recently where it's like, dang, like that person really did a lot for me. Mm-hmm. Or like, dang, like a lot of what I did or a lot of what I do or a lot of my childhood or a lot of whatever like was influenced by this celebrity, And so like I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm not an emotional guy or whatever, because I'll be crying at movies all the time. Yeah, I'll be listening to music just to cry sometimes. Yeah, but right. So like I mean, it made me emotional, but I mean, it wasn't just like you're like seeing something sad happen in a movie where it's like you see the sad part and then you're good. Where it was just like, dang, like even this morning when I was driving back from Dallas, I wanted my girl I was with, I wanted to be like, yo, I can't believe Kobe died. Right. Like that's just so crazy to think about. Like it's so wild to see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar talk about the death of Kobe Bryant. Mm-hmm. To see Dr. J talk about the death of Kobe Bryant. Like he's supposed to be one of those people like that has the tribute when the next big thing passes his record and has the tribute that they cut to in mm-hmm. the stadium or whatever, like you see in the MLB or you see in things like that. Like that was going to be Kobe, and it's just wild. Like it's just like gone too soon is like not enough to even say. But just as someone, like, my degree is in journalism. Mm-hmm. Like it's communication arts from Incarnate Word, but my concentration is in journalism. So like I took classes on media ethics. I took classes on breaking news, and I visited news channels, watched them break news. I hosted a primetime radio show at like a major network. So to see the way that like this whole thing was handled by the media and by journalism, it was like just a sad day in journalism.
And you mentioned that in our messenger, and I didn't really,
people know y'all didn't really,
and I didn't really I didn't really grasp it, and I was just like, I was like, well, Zach's coming from somewhere that he's coming from a different angle, and I went to school for business, Paul
didn't even go to school,
like.
I got a degree in human performance from Texas State. Thank you very much.
But, so, having that, like, and we've mentioned that before, we don't have broadcast degrees or journalism degrees. I mean, you do. So, I mean, I was kind of like, well, I mean, I guess, this is a different perspective that Zach is bringing, but I can't relate. So, now that we're here and you're, able to explain, give us the background on why you thought at the time that the news coverage of it was really bad.
I still do.
In your opinion,
if you cut on ESPN or TNT yesterday, you will see Rick Fox with the NBA Tonight guys explaining what it was like to go on social media and see that he died in a helicopter crash.
Yeah,
that's like to go from 5 people dying in a helicopter crash to the sheriff saying it was 9 people. Mm-hmm. To have the sheriff have to call out TMZ for saying you shouldn't have to hear that your loved ones passed away from TMZ. And we, like you said in your little spiel, that we live in a world where like you just want to get everything out first. Mm-hmm. And that is at the detriment of accuracy. Mm-hmm. Because if your tweet is out first, that's the one that's going to get retweeted. That's the one that's going to get sent in the messenger. Mm-hmm. That's the one that's going to be talked about at the water fountain at work. Mm-hmm. It's like accuracy has just become a thing that you just reply to your own tweet hours later and say correction, asterisk, and then make your correction. So just the way that it was handled, the inaccuracy of things, the whole, this is something that affected the world, the sports world, yes, the entertainment world. So a lot of people were doing what I was doing, just sitting there, refreshing their phone, going with whatever information was made available. All you were looking for was that blue check mark. Mm-hmm. But beside whatever information you were retweeting, and half of it wasn't even accurate.
Right.
So they were all 4 of his daughters were on the plane with him, but there was only 5 people that passed away on the helicopter. How did that make sense?
There was all kinds of things going. Yeah.
So Rick Fox was on there.
Yeah.
He was going to here. He was coming from here. It happened because of this. It was just a very poor representation of where the world of journalism is today. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that we need to reconsider is the timeliness of the information more important than the accuracy. Is the timeliness of the information that's sacrificing accuracy. What impact does that have if you're wrong? Because I think we see that a lot where people do try to be timely, but for the most part, the facts are the facts. Mm-hmm. For the most part, it's not something as huge as this where you're just basing everything off of reports. Because I guess the helicopter crash had ignited a brush fire, so no one really could even get close to know what really happened until everything had kind of subsided. Mm-hmm. So we don't. It's not likely that often the timeliness will be at such a detriment to the accuracy and will result in so many incorrect news breakings. Mm-hmm. So I think this has just been really the most glaring example of what's kind of wrong with the media today. And I think another great example of that was there was a MSNBC reporter that was breaking the news on the story. Because like I said, this was a global thing. This wasn't necessarily a sports story. And she was saying Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles, and she mixed, in my opinion, mixed Knicks and Lakers, and it sounded like a racial slur.
No, it did sound like a racial slur. It was gross to hear that on national news. But I don't. To me, she can say and claim whatever she wanted, but I clearly heard that term, which when I saw it on video, I didn't see it live, but I saw it on video. I was just completely mortified. Like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
But I'm just saying that woman, regardless of what she said or if she said it or her intention behind whatever, had no business breaking a story about Kobe Bryant.
Agreed.
That's an MSNBC reporter that would talk about political things or a manhunt or just global news stories.
Right.
But she was the talent in the area.
Right.
She was the talent on the clock. Mm-hmm. You know how the media goes. It's not, hey, I need you to prep all of this stuff and come up with a story. We're going live in 30 minutes. It's Paul, you're on the air right now. Kobe Bryant just died. We'll tell you what to say.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much or how little she knows. And you could almost hear in her voice that how unprepared she was. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's okay.
Right.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works for there to be someone else better and send them instead, or not go on for 30 minutes until she's ready. That's not how it works. But I mean, maybe that's something that we need to revisit and think, maybe we aren't the first people to break this because they already weren't. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should if we're not going to be the first ones, maybe we should be the most reliable.
The best ones.
Right. And there were multiple outlets that were neither.
Yeah.
And I think that's just sad for the families involved. It's sad for the media world in general that we live in, that we were so very much a part of doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And it's just sad as a society to see where the priority of things has kind of fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Zach. And now that we're a couple days away, a few days away, from the tragedy on Sunday, and at the time you were able to kind of like process this and then kind of take a step back and look and see how the coverage was so just grossly done. And
because I didn't have to go to work the next day, I was off, so I stayed on my phone, I stayed glued to the TV and just followed it all.
Yeah, and you got the background, you've got the journalism background. We've all got broadcast background. We've worked in in media, maybe not in the in depths as some other people might have, but we know that in media, it's always the extreme now. It's we gotta be extremely fast. We gotta be extremely right. We gotta be extremely left. We can't be last. We gotta be first.
They'd rather you be right than be right. Really.
Right. Yeah. And it's almost to the end. And I didn't even know the whole Rick Fox thing until earlier today. I saw it, and then it was reported that he was on the helicopter. He's a former Los Angeles Laker, former NBA player. For those of you that don't know. But it got out that he was on there, and then like his family members and people thought that he had died, because of this coverage. And it's sad, like you said, where we're at, with journalism, and that's kind of like, honestly, I don't agree with a whole lot of things that Donald Trump says, President Trump, but a lot of it, he might be right about a lot of it. It's just like some of it can be fake news, because we heard a lot of fake news on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like, it's almost like they need to get back to the basics of, what journalism is supposed to be, and I'm glad you brought that point up, because, it's, it is a little, it's not off topic. It's right on brand right now, because of the way that this was handled by the media. Because I was the same way, when I found out Sunday, my buddy Bird, texted me.
Shout out BJ for texting you.
Yeah. Well, it was Bird, but BJ called me actually.
In my head, BJ's the only friend.
BJ's only, yeah. But my buddy, he just texted, R.I.P. Kobe, and at first I was just like, what? I was laying down in
like Cassius Winston for Michigan State basketball team. You saw when Coach Izzo told him, and he said, and he like went back from his coach and said Kobe. And then Tom Izzo said again, and he was like, Bryant?
Yeah.
Like that's the same reaction.
Yeah, it was the same one. I was taking a little siesta Sunday. I was, getting ready to go to the event that me and Paul went to. It was my cousin's wedding or baby shower in Dale, close to Lockhart. And I get that text, and then I was like, what? And then I, of course, go to Google. And that's the first thing that, one of the things that come up is the reports. And I was the same way. I was like, man, this ain't real. Yeah, I was like, this can't be real. And you see more and more, and you get on Twitter and you see more and more. But that's where you started seeing stuff like even Snoop put out on the Messenger that, now they're saying that that all of his family was on board and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, man, it was all over the place.
And that's what's crazy to think of is just that and your story right there, to think that you heard this breaking news and you were like, oh, I better Google it.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I better check Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like our parents or our parents' parents like having to wait until the newspaper came out or having to turn on the TV to CNN, like to have to go to these credible sources instead of just looking for a source that we're at now. It's just
and that's the thing. It's like, who is the credible source now?
Right.
You know, and then you have to really search and do your own accreditation almost to see which reports that you're getting are accurate. You know, and I think that's kind of a sad thing. But moving on with, now that we're a few days away, we've got a lot of Kobe Bryant. You know, a lot of these players are starting to change their numbers. You know, I mean, I think was Mark Cuban already retired, number 8,
number 24.
Number 24. Okay,
yeah.
Mark Cuban already retired, and Zach, you were at Dallas Mavericks game last night, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that. I mean, they did a little video something there.
I mean, so the whole time, like, everything was happening on Sunday, on Monday, I was like cloudy eyed, whatever I was doing.
Right.
And so as soon as I told my mom that, even my mom, like, she, like, I was upstairs packing and I came downstairs and I was upstairs watching the ESPN coverage and came downstairs and turned on the TV downstairs when my mom was sitting. Like, even she, like, was riveted by all the details and the story. And as soon as I told her that Mike Cuban did that, she was like, oh, they'll probably do something at the game on Tuesday that you're going to. And she was like, you know, you're going to cry, right? And I was like, oh, I know, Mom.
Yeah.
But no, he basically came out and said, like, no Maverick will ever wear number 24 again. So we get to the game and they make the announcement. I mean, this is already Tuesday, so they weren't going to have some like grandiose thing about it because, I mean, it's 2 days after the fact. But no, they had a kind of like a candle vigil. They had a moment of silence. They had projected his numbers and his logo on the court. And during the moment of silence, they showed a bunch of moments against the Mavericks, or at All-Star games with him and Dirk, or meetings with him and Mark Cuban. And then after that, once they tipped off, the Mavericks took the 8-second violation and the Suns dribbled out the shot clock for the 24-second violation. Yeah. So I mean that was the extent of the tributes they paid to him. But I mean, you could just tell by it. I mean, this is a Tuesday night game against a Suns team that's struggling. Right. So I mean, granted, the Mavs are doing really good this year, so you would expect a good amount of people there. But I mean, that stadium was packed. It's a ton of Kobe jerseys in the stands. So I mean, there's no reason that a Tuesday game should have been as crowded as it was, and it had a lot to do with Kobe's passing. Yeah,
and there's a lot of these players as well that are starting to change their numbers. Spencer Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets switched from 8 to 26. Quinn Cook of the Lakers, he doesn't wear 8 or 24, but he's making a switch to honor both Bryant and his daughter with 28. And Alec Burks of the Golden State Warriors, going from 8 to 20. Kemba Walker of the Celtics, he's still kind of debating because he wears number 8, and he's kind of debating on whether because he's kind of on the fence, like, well, maybe I'll
it's how do you honor him by continuing to play well in his jersey or by putting the jersey away.
Yeah. So I mean, and I get that, because everybody pays tribute in different ways. Terrence Ross of the Orlando Magic went from 8 to 31, and let's see. Who was it? Zaire Smith. He'll wear number 5 going forward. He's the Philadelphia 76ers. Jahlil Okafor of the New Orleans Pelicans. He's working to switch his number. Let's see. Elise Johnson says Elise Johnson of the Pacers says he's going to continue to wear number 24 unless he's asked to change. But I mean, like I said, I don't think anybody's going to get upset with any of these players that want to continue to wear 8 and 24. Nobody's going to say that. I think the Markieff Morris of the Pistons, he's going from 8 to 88. And I think we're going to see more and more of that. It was just such an impactful event, and it's a tragic event.
I think we might even see some of the opposite too. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me for especially some of the superstar players to change their number to 8 or 24 honoring Kobe. I mean, we even saw it at Vandergrift High School with Greg Brown wearing number 2 to honor Kobe's daughter. So I mean, it's just different ways that people want to go about showing tribute.
Yeah. Recon Athlete episode number 47. Chris Sanchez, Zach Lucero, Paul Rodriguez, and I just want to shout out everybody that's on our watch party right now. Brian Pendleton, Adrian Herrera, Aaron Bean, Cindy Hunter, Amato Galvez, Superfan, Lindsay Jakubowski, I hope I said that right. Kalunga's on there, Kirk Visser, Coach Gutman, Stephanie Emo, James Gannett, and then Zach's on there like 3 times. So shout out to all of y'all for joining us. And something that just happened this afternoon, or just about an hour ago, not too long ago, is Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa Bryant. She's opened up her Instagram account, went from private to public, and put out a message. Yeah, and it's a long message, and basically just thanking everybody for their support and their prayers and everything. And she just had a message at the end. Paul, I think you had it. There you go.
Yeah, Vanessa just wanted to let everybody know on her IG that my girls and I want to thank the millions of people who've shown support and love during this horrific time. Thank you all for the prayers. To go ahead and to extend Kobe and Gianna's legacy, please visit mambasportsfoundation.org.
All right, mambasportsfoundation.org. For those of you who haven't seen that, that message from Vanessa Bryant, and we kind of talked about it before we went on air. Paul, you made the statement like, well, because I was like, well, that's big that she goes from private to public, but you mentioned why you thought that she decided to do this.
Well, I think the biggest thing is the empire that Kobe was building in Los Angeles was paramount, something new. A lot of the NBA players like LeBron James are moving out west to create these new empires to continue their brand. And now with Kobe's passing, Vanessa Bryant becomes the figurehead for Mamba Sports and their foundation and their enterprises. So it makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, I'm sure she has a great team surrounding her to give her guidance and all the appropriate information moving forward. But again, from Recon Athlete, we want to extend our prayers and well wishes to the Bryant family and those who lost their lives in that tragic accident on Sunday.
All right, Recon Athlete episode number 47. It's hard to make a transition from that, but we will try. We do have a big game coming up on Sunday. And Zach, before we leave, you're not going to be here Saturday. You're going to be in San Antonio, so
right.
We'll have to get your pick for the winner before we leave, before we get off air here. So
I had a quick question about San Antonio because that's where you went to college, right?
Oh yeah.
How many? What's your grito game like, bro? Like, you get down like that at Fiesta?
Not like that.
Huh?
Not with that.
I mean, I talked to your pops when we had that live show, and I was
man,
like,
my dad.
I was like,
know nothing.
I'm just saying, man.
My mom is very, very light complected. Like my mom is.
That's not even where I was going with it.
But look, man, let me finish. It's like she's definitely Hispanic, but she doesn't look it at all. But when it comes to Spanish, neither of my parents know Spanish. My mom, for dang sure, knows more than my dad.
Okay.
And my dad is mustache, hair slicked back, like looks like he.
Yeah.
And so my dad will go to Mexican restaurants.
Hanging out at the Home Depot.
Right. My dad will go to Mexican restaurants and say tortillas with the accent, say order queso with the accent, and the lady will just assume, oh, this dude knows Spanish, and she'll start talking to my dad in Spanish, going off, and my dad will just stare at her, and he'll say, and my mom will have to say he doesn't know Spanish. So don't let my dad say nothing about.
I'm just saying, man. I think he put in a word about how you used to get down in San Antonio.
That's funny.
I mean, I definitely enjoy my time in San Antonio, but
are you gonna go see? You said you were gonna go see some homies.
Yeah. I haven't been. You know how it is working full time now, man. It's a big deal. Haven't making trips like that. So I've been in San Antonio a few times, but it's always like I have a goal when I'm going there. Like I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So this will be the first time that I'm in San Antonio, just to kind of go where the wind blows me type thing.
Right on.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's what's up. You got your little hotel room. You gonna be on the Riverwalk, or where you gonna be?
I am.
Yeah.
Which hotel?
You can say.
I'm gonna be at the Grand Hyatt.
Oh, Flex. Go and Flex.
The suites or what?
I know, but I did get the top floor, the high floor room, so I'm having a view.
Man. Let us know your room number so we can crash the party. Come crash the party.
Yeah. Might
have to. All right. So the big game, Super Bowl 54 on Sunday. We're going to talk a little bit. We'll Paul and I, and maybe we can try to get Snoop in on Saturday, or somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe Kalunga. We need to get Kalunga through.
Bro, I've been trying. John, if you're watching, bro, where you at?
We can get BJ on.
Yeah. BJ, are you on it?
BJ can get the call in.
Yeah. Albert Rodriguez is on there, but BJ needs to get up on there.
I'm a big fan of BJ. I'm continuing to put in work.
No, I am too. I've been trying to get him to come, do this.
But he better not take my mic time,
Nah, well, see,
he was a little long winded.
He will.
If he comes, he's sitting right here too. So I'll just
and I can I can
I'll turn his mic off real quick.
But what we did want to do today is have a little fun with this because they do have tons of prop bets. Prop bets are always fun, man. I love prop bets in Super Bowl. I think they're hilarious. One of my favorite things to do is if you're having a Super Bowl party, is you go to this website. Was it Bovada?
Yeah. #NoAd.
No ad. They have a Super Bowl parties prop sheet, and I've been to Super Bowl parties where they do this, where they have like 25 bets, and you put like 5, 10, or however much you want to put in, and you go and you fill out the prop bets, and whoever gets the most right at the end of the game wins the whole pot. So I wanted to go over what they have for the prop bets here, and coming up. So the first one is going to be, how long will it take Demi Lovato to sing the national anthem? That's pretty standard. National anthem. Right now, 2 minutes and 4 seconds is the over.
How long does it normally take someone to sing the national anthem?
It kind of depends, man. I mean,
Christina Aguilera be long winded with those.
But I'm just saying, is there a basis?
Oh, you're talking about I don't know. I don't know what the melody.
It's 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
You know what? Hold on.
Long.
You know what? You need to
let me jump on real quick.
You need to hit up homegirl Tamsin Stonebarger.
But hers was probably 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is Demi Lovato? You think is she?
I'm thinking whatever the mean is probably where Demi Lovato is, because Demi Lovato is a child of social media, so she knows if she tries to be. Go ahead, Paul.
So check it out real quick. I got a couple of videos on YouTube. Demi Lovato singing national anthem. One in the NBA game, and second at the MLB game. Check that. The Mayweather-McGregor fight was 2 minutes and 16 seconds, and the Major League Baseball game was 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
Oh, see, so
that's easy then.
So yeah, you kind of have to do a little homework.
Yeah, do a little homework.
But because I feel like it's not going to be super long, because she knows if she goes super long, she's going to get roasted on Twitter. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be around that.
Well, right now the under 2 minutes, 2 minutes 4 seconds is even, and the over is -130.
And see, you don't know you don't know what's in that contract. Like, she may have to keep it in line, because Miami's an open air stadium, and how we do in America, we like to do flyovers with jets, and so they may have to do some kind of timing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to roll out.
Right. Number 2, of course, this is another standard one. Result of the coin toss, heads or tails. Who will win the coin toss? That's the third one. I like this one. The number 4. Which coach will be mentioned first on TV after the kickoff? Kyle Shanahan. Ooh. Kyle Shanahan is even, and Andy Reid is at -140.
Who's doing the game?
Is there anybody else? Fox, Troy Aikman, and Joe Buck.
Yeah. Is there what?
Is there any other coach listed there, like Eric Bieniemy?
Just Andy Reid or Kyle Shanahan, just the head coaches. So which coach will be mentioned first on TV after kickoff? Shanahan is the even, so he's the favorite.
He's the favorite.
Yeah. Number 5. What will the first offensive play of the game be?
I bet it's going to be Troy Aikman
pass play or run play.
Mentioning Andy Reid.
I kind of
can I get specific like that?
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Do you have a factor why?
So I feel like Andy Reid is more Troy Aikman's era.
Yeah, true.
And I think Troy Aikman will try to say I'm in my conversations with Andy Reid, blah blah blah, or Andy Reid is such a good coach, blah blah blah.
I think you're picking Andy Reid because he used to be an OC for Green Bay. That's why I think you're rolling that way.
No, because I think if it's anybody else, if it's Tony Romo, it's Shanahan.
So just due to eras.
Yeah.
And
I think
see,
due to who it is, I think.
And I think also it's going to depend. I think it's going to depend on who wins the toss.
Write that down. Let's write that down.
I think it's going to depend on who wins the toss because they're going to talk about whatever decision they made to defer or to accept the kick because that's going to have an implication on who gets the ball in the second half. So I think it's going to depend on who wins the toss. They'll mention first.
So who do you say?
Like I said, I'm picking whoever wins the toss.
No.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying you got to, but you have to pick it.
I like Andy Reid.
You got to pick everything.
Okay.
I like Andy Reid.
All right, write that down, Chris.
All right,
put it in the show notes.
I'll put it.
Who do you say, Chris?
You
can pick Shanahan just to be on the other side of the bed because I know you.
I mean, I like Andy Reid too, but I have to go Kyle Shanahan.
Hey, can I go off topic real quick?
Sure.
We can call you Zach off topic.
I know you owe me that Blake Martinez jersey.
Yeah.
Can we wait?
It's still on.
Can we wait until?
They said it was back order, dude.
Can we wait until?
It's been on back order
until he does or doesn't get re-signed by the Packers.
They didn't
because after that 49ers game, they're gonna need some more speed at linebacker. And I don't know if old Blake Martinez is gonna cut it.
Yeah. All right, we can wait for that. And it was on back order, man. They didn't have any more youth mediums.
So are you gonna? So if Blake Martinez leaves Green Bay, or do you still want it?
I'm gonna have to get. It's gonna have to go to another.
To whatever team he goes to.
No, I think it has to be a different Packer jersey.
Oh, so you still want a pack? Okay,
Yeah.
you're loyal to the brand.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't get it yet.
Yeah, loyal to the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you would have got me that on time, I would have been like, "Dang, I can only wear this jersey for one more week."
It'd be a Sour Patch Kid.
Before I got the Blake Martinez Carolina Panthers jersey or whatever.
All right, what will the first offensive play of the game be? Pass play or run play? Pass play is or run play. Yeah, run play is actually the favorite. Minus 145. Pass play is plus 110.
I think we should pick these all right now.
Go ahead. I mean, I can go back and, I go back and make a little spreadsheet.
All right, so I think 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 4 seconds.
I think it's going to be over 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Over 2.
Chris?
I'll go over. Heads or tails?
I think it's heads because America wants you to see the presidents.
All right.
I like tails.
I'll go heads. Who wins the coin toss, the 49ers or the Chiefs?
The 49ers.
Chiefs.
I'll go Chiefs. Which coach will be mentioned first on TV after kickoff? Randy Reid or Kyle Shanahan?
Randy Reid.
Randy
You get to make fun of him.
I caught you, so I took advantage.
I'm going Andy Weed.
I'm going Brady Quinn, the defensive lineman for the Cowboys. No, so I'm still sticking Troy Aikman saying Andy Reid.
You're even calling Aikman to say it.
All right.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
All right.
Reid.
I'm going. I want to go Andy Weed or Ryle Shanahan, but I'll go Kyle Shanahan. All right. What will the first offensive play of the game be? Pass play or run play?
Pass.
Yeah, I like pass too.
I'll go run. Opening kickoff. Will it be a touchback? Yes or no?
Hell yes.
Who's the 49ers kicker? Is it Robbie Gould?
I have no idea. Maybe
that's their place kicker. I don't know if he does a kickoff.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say no.
Will there be a score in the first 5 minutes of the game?
No.
Man.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna go yes.
Okay.
You said score, right?
Yeah.
Field goal
yes,
counts.
field goal counts.
Yeah. Okay.
Or safety.
Safety.
Which commercial will air first? Will it be Donald Trump or Michael Bloomberg?
Bloomberg.
Ooh. Yeah, Bloomberg.
Really?
Yeah.
Trump is the favorite. I'm gonna go Trump.
Is he gonna be there?
Probably.
He's been at a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been to a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah.
If he showed up at the Natty, he's probably gonna show up at the Super Bowl.
Which team will commit the first penalty of the game? The 49ers or the Chiefs?
The 49ers. They have a young coach.
All right.
No, I think it's the Chiefs defense.
Okay. I'll go with the Chiefs too. What will the first scoring play of the game be? Will it be a touchdown, field goal, or safety? So field goal or safety are together, and then touchdown.
What's the favorite?
Field goal or safety.
Yeah, I like field goal.
I like field goal or safety.
I'm going to go touchdown. Total points scored in the first half. Over under 26.5. Total points scored in the first half. Over under 26.5.
I bet somebody gets like 20 in the first quarter. I mean, not first quarter, first half. So I'm going to say over.
Okay.
I'm going to say under.
I'm going to go under as well. How many songs will be played during the halftime show? And that's kind of, I don't know.
So we got J-Lo and we got...
What's the number?
8.
Really?
Over.
Or, no. Yeah, 8.
So it's J-Lo and who?
Shakira.
Shakira.
We got at least 3 for Shakira.
And then when Pitbull or whoever comes out, he's gonna do.
Pitbull
or Rick Ross.
No, they always bring out special guests like comes out the floor. Or
Daddy
something. Daddy Yankee, maybe.
Somebody Latin.
Osuna, maybe.
Osuna.
What's the other dude?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, dude. Bad Bunny would be.
He's hot right now.
Bad Bunny would be dope. But you don't think they're going to bring out like a hip, because they already got 2 Latin stars. You don't think they'll bring out a hip hop or a rock?
Latin hip hop.
But Latin hip hop, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying like a rock, like a,
Man, they did ZZ Top back 20 years ago in that Super Bowl. They're not bringing rock back.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you got to kind of mix it up. You can't just stay all Latin, right?
Maroon 5
well, I guess you are in Miami.
2 last year, right?
I don't know.
Because then they bring that dude from Outkast, and then they brought Travis Scott.
Yeah.
So maybe it's multiple.
See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, so you have the Latin stars, so you might want to go with your special guest with like a rock band or hip hop.
What rock band would they bring out, Chris?
I don't know.
Led Zeppelin.
I have no clue. No idea.
That's why it never really popped in my brain.
So anyway, how many songs we played during the halftime show? Over under 8.
Over.
I'm gonna say over. Alex Rodriguez will.
I was just thinking. I was just about to say that.
I haven't even looked at these, dude. I didn't look at these, and now that all just threw me off. I was like, Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez will he be shown during the halftime show? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
You're doing a cumbia.
That's hilarious. I know, right? I hope so. I hope he's doing.
He'll be doing the merengue, if anything.
All right. Will a successful field goal be kicked in the third quarter? Yes or no?
Yes.
Third quarter field goal.
I feel really bad for you to have to go through this and
pick what he said. I'm say no.
I'll do it I don't know. I'll do it before Sunday.
No.
Field goal. Yes.
I'm going to say yes. Total passing yards for Patrick Mahomes, over or under 305.5.
Over.
305? Under.
305
I bet
and
it's
a half.
like 300.
I'm going to go over too. How many rushing yards will Damian Williams have? Over or under 51.5?
Ooh, good question.
Under.
I say under too.
More of a receiver.
I'm going to go, yeah, that is true. I'm going to go under as well. Will Tyreek Hill score a touchdown? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, but I think it's in the special teams.
Paul only said yes because I said yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
I will say yes. Jimmy Grapes, will he throw an interception?
Hell yes.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he's going to keep a clean sheet. Will Raheem?
Because he's going to throw 5 passes.
Jimmy G's going to be over there sneaking looks into the halftime show, man.
Yeah,
He's so unprepared.
I know, right?
He's going
to be in Miami, dude.
Where the Latin women at?
I know. He's going to have no protein in the system. Will Raheem Mostert score a touchdown? Yes or no?
No, I hate that guy.
Yes, he'll score 1.
I say yes, too. How many receiving yards will Deebo Samuel have?
How many of there are these? How many of those?
There's 25 total.
25.
Jeez Louise.
What are the options?
Over under 52.5 receiving yards for Deebo Samuel.
Over.
I'm going to say over.
I'm going to say under.
Okay. Who will have more receptions? Travis Kelce or George Kittle?
I think Kittle will have more receptions.
Is more involved in the offense than Kelce is.
I'm going to go Kelce. I like that question, though. Will there be a successful 2-point conversion in the game? Yes or no?
No.
No.
I'm going to say no as well. Will there be a missed PAT conversion? Missed point after attempt.
I say
no.
Yes.
Say yes. I'm going to say no. Which team will score last, the 49ers or the Chiefs?
The Chiefs.
I say the Niners trying to catch up.
I will say the 49ers. Which team will win the Super Bowl? Let's not say. Should we say?
I think we should wait.
I'll text y'all.
You text us.
Yeah, text us.
All right, so that number 25.
You know the line's moved, right?
Has it?
Yeah, it's moved.
So it was -1.5
It was
Kansas. Or -1.
It was -1
Kansas City.
Now it's -1.5 Kansas City.
Okay. So money's going on.
I got a feeling it's going to move back to -1.
Kansas, really? Why do you say that?
I just think when the more bets come in closer to kickoff, I think that's when the line's going to just shift. I don't think it's going to increase.
Okay.
I really don't.
Okay. All right. Well, shout out to everybody that joined us on the watch party. Anybody that joined us late, shout out Mr. Way and Velma. She joined us. Greg Way.
Shout out Craig Way.
So, RIP Kobe, going to be missed. There's going to be so much coverage of this, and hopefully it's going to be a lot better than the initial coverage. that we had on Sunday. Paul?
So just a preview real quick for everybody. Saturday, Super Bowl talk, Super Bowl picks, and preview to the redistricting for UIL, Austin area high school football. Heads up.
Zach, you got any last minute words for everybody? Since you're not going to be here Saturday.
Yeah, I just want to apologize. I know the show won't be as good, but next Wednesday, I promise I'll pick things back up.
You won't have to worry about Skinny Jesus being here.
All right, Paul, do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are enjoying the podcast, please like, subscribe. You tell us who's going to win the Super Bowl in the comments below. For everybody on YouTube, hit the bell to let you know when we notify y'all when we upload. We gone.